Hello, my name is Joel, and today I'll be just taking you through how to disassemble and assemble this machine here. This machine is a Dell Vostro 3671. It's a good machine, and this one I have is an i3 9th generation with a 4 GB RAM. The RAM is a DDR4, but you can also upgrade it up to 32 GB. So let's dive into it. So firstly, you have to disconnect all power connections. Make sure it is not connected to any power source before you start. And just for safety, I've put on my gloves, but these are not the real gloves we use. I've just improvised because we don't have any around. So this comes with the two screws which we have to open before we can open this upper panel. So I'm just going to use my screwdriver and open it. And keep it in a surface, and then you can now just pull this backwards a little and then push it up. Yes, so next we are going to disconnect some of these components from the motherboard. You can start with these cables. It's just easy to disconnect them. So I can just remove this. This is the power supply unit, and this is the hard disk for storage. We have a fan here. Under the fan we have our CPU. So I can disconnect most of these components. Just give us a picture of what we do. So keep in mind where you have put the cables. Next we are going to remove our RAM, and this is our RAM here. As I said before, we have a 4 GB RAM, and we have two slots for our RAM, so I can add another 4 GB here to make 8 GB. And so this is our RAM. We can also disconnect our CMOS battery down here if we want. Just get a screw which is like that. Then can pop this out. So we have our CMOS also removed. Now we are going to remove the power supply and the hard disk so that we have space in here. So this hard disk has been screwed in here from the back or from under it, under the machine. So you just unscrew that. So the other screws are on the side here also, so we have to remove this front panel by just pulling this up like that, and it is removed. So we have this opened, so I can remove the other screws holding the hard disk down. Okay. So we have our hard disk pulled out. This is a 1 TB hard disk. Very big storage, so I can also put it somewhere there. Yes. Next we are going to remove also the power supply. So the power supply is screwed in from the back here. So let's unscrew this. So the screws have been removed. Now just push it back, and our power supply unit is out, so we can also put it. Next we are going to remove out this motherboard, and what we are going to do, we are first going to open this, to release some of this. After opening that, now we can unscrew these screws holding down our motherboard. But as you can see, we have this wireless card or Wi-Fi card, which is having cables running here, so we can first unscrew that. The rest of the screws. We have to also remove this thing that is on top of the fan, so that you can expose some of the screws under it. So next we are going to unscrew these fins. These are heat fins or the heat sink, but we are going to unscrew it, but make sure the fan has been unplugged off from the motherboard, and then unscrew the fins, but make sure you follow the number order. This is number 1, this is number 2, then number 3 and number 4, and do it a little bit slower. So now we remove it, and it exposes our CPU down there. So now you can remove your motherboard from inside, and this is how our motherboard looks like. So we have successfully disassembled this computer, and this is the motherboard, how it looks like. This is our CPU. The RAM sits here, the CMOS battery sits here, and these are some of the connections to the different components. Like we have the power supply unit, the hard disks, and the CD drives are all there. And we have these other connections to peripheral devices that are connected here. Here we have our jumper. So we have successfully disassembled this computer. Next we are going to reassemble our computer back into the case with everything. So firstly, if you are putting back the fins back to the CPU, it is important to put paste on it, the thermal paste, because it helps the CPU to cool down much more faster. So make sure you put the thermal paste there. So we are just going to fix back the way we removed it, just as simple as that. Yes, and then we have to screw back all our screws that we removed. Yes, so next we are going to put in back our cooling thing plus the fan. Just the same way we picked it out, the same way you put it back in, and then we screw, still following the same cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so next we are going to be putting back our components one by one as we remove them. Just watch. Yes, so our RAM is already back in, so we can fix in the Sims battery too. Just pressing it in. Now we have to plug in the power supply unit back into the motherboard. Just where we plugged it out from. The next we are going to connect back our hard disk. Connect power for this hard disk. And also connect our light CD drive. And connect the data transmission for CD drive too. Yes, so everything has been put in back. Now we can close our system unit. So we are done reassembling our computer. Now I can connect the monitor.